Hi, welcome back to the Ayurveda mini course on your ideal daily routine. We are at day number 4, and we are talking about morning rituals. And I'm your host, Anna Welly. So, first video, we did a little overview of what Dinacharya means, what it looks like, and how we're looking at these different energies cycling through the day, these Ayurvedic energies, doshas, vata, pitta, and kapha, and what it looks like to experience those in your body, mind, and emotions when they're in balance, and then they're also when they're out of balance. And second video, we talked about rhythmic eating and optimal meal timing. Third video, we talked about your evening rituals and evening routines and how to connect into this kapha energy and why that's important to help balance vata and balance pitta, and what a beautiful expression of kapha looks like and feels like. Today, we're going to talk about morning routines and morning rituals. And if you notice so far, when we start with those meal timing, rhythmic eating, and earlier, lighter dinner, we set ourselves up to have a beautiful evening ritual and an evening routine and support ourselves to go to bed at the time that we need to get the rest that we need. When we sleep well, when we're synced into this rhythm, and we're just honoring that of going into that flow and supporting ourselves to get the rest and supporting ourselves to fall asleep more easily and more deeply, then we're more able and easier. It's easier for us to wake up in the morning and wake up feeling well rested and refreshed and ready to start the day. So the first part of having a good morning routine is, it was the information from videos 2 and 3. When we're looking at what's happening in the morning time, we're sinking in with this energy of vata dosha. And remember that vata is the energy that arises from the elements of space and air. And vata governs movement within the body. So vata is kind of like the wind. It's cold, it's light, it's subtle, it's very etheric in nature. It's governing all of the movement within your system. So the movements of your thoughts. So too much vata, it's going to be an overactive mind. It's going to be a lot of thinking in your head, anxiety, worry, fear, ADD, hard to stop your thoughts and fall asleep, or restlessness, insomnia, and that kind of thing. So the positive attributes or positive experience of vata would be feeling excited, feeling creative, feeling joyful, feeling inspired. So we want to wake up feeling inspired for the day. We want to wake up feeling light and clear and fresh, and we want to connect to our subtle body. The first piece about having a good morning routine and morning ritual is connecting into this power of vata that governs the movement within the body. And movement would be moving waste out, having a good, complete bowel movement. And in Ayurveda, what that looks like is about 18 inches. So it's pretty big. It's the whole, can't really see on a computer screen, but the whole transverse and descending colon, this whole area is evacuated. The waste is evacuated from your body in a complete form. So it's shaped like a brown ripe banana. It has the consistency of toothpaste, like smooth, it's together, and it floats. And it's like a medium brown in color. So deviations from that would be, if there's excess vata, it would be like dry and hard. It might be like in little chunks, or like even like pellets. There's lack of moisture. It might be incomplete. It might be small. If there's too much vata or pitta in the digestive tract, it would be like a loose stool. It would fall apart. It might be more oily or more liquid in nature, or it would have chunks of food in it that haven't been digested well. There's too much acidity in the digestive tract. And stuff it's like the heat is burning too high. Things aren't getting fully digested. If the stool is heavy or sticky, there's mucus or phlegm in the stool. If it's incomplete, like it doesn't kind of fully want to come out, then that would be too much kapha. So whatever your imbalance is, you can also kind of start to support and tweak that via diet. Or if the morning bowel movement doesn't happen for you, working with a diet is one of the first things to focus on. And then there's also other ways to make sure that those doshas are going into balance that will reflect in what's happening in the digestive tract. We get more into this in my online program, Soul Body Bliss. And so if you need help with that, please reach out. I'm happy to support you. So remember what we're doing when we're getting into this rhythmic eating, and we're training our digestive fire and our digestive system to operate and just kind of on this rhythm in this kind of consistency. And we're really refining that biochemistry and supporting that system to work optimally without taxing our energy. We're making it more efficient and more easeful for us. We're freeing up more energy, and we're going to be experiencing more energy in other ways. So having that rhythmic eating and that earlier, lighter dinner, and then also grounding vata is going to help us have that full, complete bowel movement in the morning upon arising. And another one of the practices that you can implement into your morning routine would be to wake up and have a glass of warm water. And so it could be room temperature, or it can be hot, like tea water. And then you could have it plain, or you could add a little bit of lemon. And lemon actually kind of helps trigger that peristalsis action to get the muscles moving and get it going. And again, I said, if it doesn't happen for you, this is not normal. You want to be really slow and patient and compassionate and cooperative with your body to make these changes happen over time, to kind of support the body to refine its system and to heal and to be in balance. And if you need help with that, let me know. So you're tapping into that power of vata, this downward moving energy of vata, by having that full, complete bowel movement and alleviating your waste from yesterday. So you're starting the day clear and open and fresh. You know, you had your dinner early and light, so you had that kind of natural evening or detox overnight. And then you're starting the day clear and fresh. And so the second piece around this is you want to tap into this subtle, light, kind of sensitive quality of vata. Remember how I mentioned vata is like more intuitive? It's even more psychic in nature. Vata is really tuned into our energy body, our spiritual body, our more mental, emotional body, our higher mind, our higher intellect, our higher self. So morning time, we want to take advantage. We want to enhance this aspect of ourself. That's an important, healthy piece of who you are. And so in your morning routine and morning ritual, you also want to create a little bit of time and space to connect with yourself in that way, to connect with your spirit. And this can look different for everybody. One of the most important practices that I would like to emphasize would be to have a morning meditation, to simply sit in silence and be with yourself and these subtle layers of who you are for at least a couple of minutes. Beyond a meditation practice, you can also do pranayama breathing exercises, mantra. You could do, reading some spiritual scripture or things that feel inspiring to you, or contemplations, prayer, setting intentions. For me in the morning, first thing I like to really feel into like what my day is like ahead, and just kind of visualize like, ooh, what am I excited for? How's that going to go? And also let any sort of creative inspiration arrive to me, such as I knew I was going to make these videos today. It's like, how am I going to make that the best for them? Like what is a way that I can creatively share something with someone, or what do I have to do for my work, whatever is on my plate. So setting intention and kind of seeing how things are going to go, and then saying a prayer, setting those intentions into a vision of like, how can I serve the highest good? These would all be great ways to connect with your spirit and your subtle body. Meditation being one of those key practices. And so when you're also giving yourself time to meditate, and you're anchoring down a consistent meditation practice, even if it's only for 2 minutes, maybe it could be for 5 minutes, but you want to start small. But when you're anchoring down into that consistent practice, you're honing in and grounding in this vata experience, this vata energy, and you're connecting into that process, and you're also setting the tone for the day. So you're teaching yourself to connect with yourself first and center in yourself first before getting into all the other things of the day. So without these practices, it would be something like wake up and look at the phone and get into your head. and check your email and check your social media and check your Facebook and maybe send some text messages. And so then you're already getting kind of wrapped up in like, where's the day going to go and where's the day going to take me? What's the kind of whirlwind energy of like, whoa. And you can see how this starts to feed on itself and starts to become this pattern of maybe overwhelm or stress or frazzled or frantic or whatever. And that's too much vata. Or if there's too much pitta, it's like, rather than giving yourself this special sacred time of connecting with your subtle essence, connecting with you, connecting with your heart, and finding compassion and even your heart space of how you want to move through the day from this place. So getting too much into your phone or getting carried away in the things to do for the day, what's on the list, then you're getting too much into that mental drive that leads towards burnout, autoimmune, adrenal fatigue, all of those things of just too much sharpness, too much controlling, too much overpowering oneself. And at the kapha side, what more likely would happen would be that kapha wants to sleep in and kapha doesn't want to get out of bed. So kapha would be more likely to oversleep and to even sleep into that kapha time of day, which happens from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. So if you sleep into the kapha time and you already have a lot of kapha happening in your experience, you're going to feel heavy, lethargic. It's going to take a long time to wake up, not because you're under-rested, not because you're exhausted and you need more rest, but because you are, there's too much of that earth and water. There's too much stability where it becomes holding you back. It's like you're stuck in the mud. And so kapha would, lay in bed, oversleep, and then it would be hard for kapha to get going. It would be hard for kapha to feel inspired, feel creative, to feel, motivated for the day ahead. So waking up, setting intentions, getting into that vata energy is a really good way to counteract that excess heaviness or dullness or kind of even depression or sadness. It's actually also a very, very effective way to work with depression is to wake up and set intentions with the rising sun and sit and contemplate the experience of a new day, a new dawn. And that can be really healing, or even taking a walk into the rising sun. So what does your ideal morning routine or morning ritual look like to you? What would be an ideal way for you to step into the day where, rather than getting carried away and wrapped up in all of the things to do, you're giving yourself some time to really create a routine or even a ritual where you're very present and intentional with the actions that you have set forth with you in the morning. And the more of a routine or ritual that you can create, besides just having some water and having a good bowel movement and making time for a spiritual practice. So it might also include things such as some movement or some art or some writing or, your way for making breakfast and nourishing for yourself. The more consistent and kind of more repeatable that practice is, the more also of like sacred intention that you're placing upon your routine and turning it into a ritual, the more that's also very grounding and very relaxing to the nervous system, which helps to balance vata as well. So it's like what to expect. And when you have that consistency with what your morning ritual looks like, it starts to really kind of soothe the nervous system and kind of buffer it and add and more resilience and more strength with the nervous system. So it's, again, another really powerful way to work with stress management, is giving yourself morning routine and even starting to set into more deeper intentions and ritual into it. So what does your morning routine and ritual need to look like? What is something that you want to bring into your day that's going to be important for you to get started and also connect with this vata energy? And the second piece then is how So the second question I want to ask you is, how are you going to implement this piece of your morning routine into your life. So what's one small action step that you can do that feels possible, something that you could be successful with? I would love to hear what you come up with in our Facebook forum. And tomorrow, on the final day, day number 5, we're going to talk about exercise and when is the ideal time to put in exercise and what it can look like, what it will be best for you. All right. Talk to you soon.